All right, hello everyone. Sorry for such a late night stream, but just things have been crazy, and yeah, just had to get everything together here. So let's see. I see you're unboxing the 10 log. It actually is. I thought it was 10 long. It's 10 log. Is it worth the price? Well, that's what we're here to find out. It is my first time doing an IDEX 3D printer, so we'll have to see how well it goes. I'm expecting a disaster, but we do have it right behind me here, and we'll get it unboxing in a second. We might have a guest here tonight from Tactile 3D. Not sure if he will pop in or not, but he does have the open invite. I am not sure which version I have, so we'll have to take a look at the box because apparently there is an old version and then there's an updated version. So not really sure what the difference is between those. Because one, at least on Amazon, I'm looking. I don't know what the big difference is between the two. They look about the same. So for those who don't know, I'm just going to give you a little bit of an insight of the 10 log TL-D3. It is an IDEX 3D printer, so that means we can have dual colors or separate types of filaments on here and get it all set up. Welcome to the stream, my friends.
Hey everybody. Hey Matt.
Hello. So if you guys see me talking, I am talking to my phone that is right here because we are also streaming this on the TikTok. So we are everywhere. So just to cover all of our bases. I did not see the unboxing thing. Sorry to interrupt with my questions. No, that's perfectly fine. If you wanna stay, then you know we'll find out together how well this printer actually is. So
I see you got a Prusa in the background.
yeah, I do. I need to get to that. So this next week is going to be like crazy live streaming for me because I have a handful of printers I need to get to do some unboxing. I have another one that arrived. I have another that's arriving. So we're going to go crazy this week with unboxing stuff. So just to give you a little bit of insight, this is like I said, dual material. So it's two actual different extruders on this system, and essentially you can load two different colors into it. Now, I do have a green and a gray and some black, and I guess we could do black and rainbow. That would be crazy, crazy combo. But essentially, this is a CR10 style build plate, so it is a 300 by 350. So it is a fairly large build volume. I believe that's big enough to do helmets and whatnot. So we can go ahead and get it all situated, and let's start the unboxing, shall we? Let's see if I can get you guys a little closer here. Let's load up the Logitech camera here, and we'll try and size this down or size it up. Get this all situated. That's about as good as we're getting, so that's good enough, I think. For you guys in TikTok land, I'm sorry, you guys are kind of limited to the view, but that's just how it's going to be. All right, so 10 log did send me this printer to review, so we'll see how it goes. Now, I've kind of heard some mixed reviews about this printer, so I'm expecting some interesting things, but you know, so far I haven't really had any terrible printers so far. So
Is that the IDEX?
It is an IDEX, yes.
Oh yeah.
So this is a big IDEX, and we're going to be getting another IDEX soon from Sobel. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm waiting on that.
If
I thought I had it, but I guess not. I thought it arrived already.
If we get any trouble with that, or you get any trouble with that, you know Liam, he knows anything about them.
Who?
Liam, Astro Printer.
Oh, why would I ask Liam for help? No, yeah, I know Liam is the master of IDEX printer. So let's we're gonna have to turn off this heat real quick. This is gonna be a fun one. So, oh, this box is insanely heavy. unfortunately, I don't have a lot of room for a printer this big anymore.
I'm looking for an IDEX printer just to see how they are, you know. But
Yeah. All right. So we do have one box. I'm guessing that's the box for the extruder on one side and a box for the other extruder. I could be wrong. We'll take a look at that once we get everything unboxed. But it is packaged very well. I can clearly see that. We open this upside down? No, we didn't. It's just packaged very, very well. Ugh. This is going to be
maybe
fun.
cut the box away.
We what?
Cut the box away.
Yeah, we might have to on this one. Let's see if we can try and wedge it out here first before we go that route.
Or turn the box upside down.
You what?
Turn the box upside down, you know. Let it slip
I got
out. You must be feeling pretty well right now, like a kid in a candy store with all the
yes.
stuff.
All right, so for the most part, it looks like it's just a one whole system that we set up here. This is kind of nice. All right, so we're going to take this all out in one piece. There's our extruders. Wow, those are really weird. All right, it'll be interesting. Some instructions, and I think that's it. Yeah, nothing else.
So you have 10 p.m. right now where you are.
7 p.m., so it's 10 p.m. where I am. It's 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Lasco, what's up, man?
I
Welcome
am.
to the stream. Yo, let me get that Prusa. I just got that Prusa, so no, that's not happening. You'd have to fight me tooth and nail for that Prusa.
You might keep it.
You don't need it anymore. I love the foam. My cat loves it. Yeah, absolutely. My cat will probably make a home out of it later on tonight. All right, so let's get this back up over here. Let's see if we can try and get it all set up. So we have our manual and everything. Okay, that's cool. Take out our extruder. So these are our strange extruders. Let's see if we can find out the Creality style hot ends. Come on now. Maybe not. They're slightly different. I don't know what hot end that is, to be honest. They look like Creality, but they're kind of rounded a little bit, at least on the inside. 3D printed air duct, 3D printed gear. I'm not too sure about that one. That I'm a little worried about. But
yeah,
they are labeled E1 and E2, so we know which one is what.
Not a fan of 3D printed parts for mechanisms.
Yeah.
They grind down too quickly, I think.
All right. So I'm kind of digging this already. It's a two-piece setup, it looks like here. So we have our upright and our base. We have a glass plate, which I'm not a big fan of these type of glass plates, the carborundum glass. I'm not a big fan of them. I never have good adhesion with them, really, ever. But that just might be me. I don't know.
It's the one with the bubbles on top, right? Little bumps.
Yeah, it's like the ones that are like textured, like the crisscross patterns. That's
turn
what
them upside down. I turn mine upside down. Like do I have the flat side on top?
And this looks like it might actually have like a coating or something on it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right. So yeah, essentially this is a two-piece. This does say QC qualified, but you know our stuff from past and previous setups, you know, say otherwise. But hey, you know, we can always see. All right, what's up here? PEI for life. Yeah, if I end up keeping this, it'll probably have a flex plate on it at some point. So essentially, we're gonna set this up. So we have our printer host, which is what they call the base. Then we have our Z and X gantry assembly, which is our upright, our dual extruder and nozzle kits. So it looks like in the boxes are basically all of our parts, SD card, and it does come with 2 test filaments. So that's kind of cool that it comes with smaller test filaments. And you know what? In fact, I just pulled those down. I actually have some Yusu filaments that are like silk filaments that are really cool that I can use that are exactly this size. So we can utilize those once we start running out. We do have some extrusion rail covers on here. So that's kind of nice that they included that. It is one big giant piece, so you do have to cut it down. I'll be honest, I'm probably not even going to mess with that. That's just kind of something for looks out of anything. If I get bored one day, I might set it up. So color-wise, it looks like they sent us like a gray and a yellow or an orange. Looks
That
more
looks yellow
orange.
to me or gold to me.
Yeah, it's more like an orange color, I guess. It's kind of maybe a skin tone. Doesn't even say, I don't think. Nope. Doesn't say what color. Either way, we'll get that all set up. Get that up out of the way. Oh, we have zip ties. Uh-oh. We'll have to find out where those go. Probably for the extruder. All right, so here's all of our parts. These are our setups for the spool holders. All right. That aside, that aside. Put that up there. We have our SD card and USB drive or converter. That's cool because I kind of need one. So it does have dual filament runout sensors as well. So for those who are seeing,
Good.
that's kind of cool. These are really, really small filament runout sensors, and it looks like one is even tested because there's still some filaments in it. So they forgot to take the filaments out of it. We have a really crappy USB-A wire that I'll never ever use. Looks like all of our screws and bolts. We have some wire brush cleaners, which if anybody uses these on hot ends, just be careful because if you use wire brush on a hot end that is heating, you can potentially damage your board or do even worse and destroy your entire printer. I mean, destroying your board would basically do that. We have our screwdrivers, our Allen keys, our adjustment wrenches, nice pair of blue clippers. Seems like they're getting away from the cheap blue ones and kind of going with a nicer one. At least the padding's a little bit nicer on these than the old ones used to be. Fairly nice scraper, got a nice edge on it, so that's kind of nice. It's a thicker one than I'd like, but we'll try it out and see how well it does. I usually use my trusty black handle one power cord, and that's essentially it. We're not going to use that power cord because I already have one ran, so we're good on that. All right, so the $1,000,000 question is, does it have a setup? Yes, it does. Okay. So it looks like wiring and setup is going to be pretty easy and straightforward.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Looks like only like 4 screws, huh?
Yeah. So
For the
it looks
gantry.
like 2, 4, 5 screws, it says, for the gantry. And then, I don't know why 5. Why is
No,
that
that's
fifth
not
one
number.
going in there? That's very strange. Okay, so it looks like 5 for that, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 for the extruder setups and the filament holder setups. So a good amount, but I mean, that's understandable because it is kind of still a kit and it
Yeah.
is an IDEX style setup. So we're kind of adding some more on there. So we just check chat and see what's going on. What's up, Renato? What's up, Sniper? How much does one of these cost? So currently on Amazon, they are going for $699. Now, I will let you know that the person I'm working with at Tenlog, they are offering a 40% discount. If you guys are interested in that, you guys can go ahead and contact me via email or through Facebook or YouTube, TikTok, whatever it may be. I can give you their information. They are on Facebook. So just to be aware of that, you will have to have a Facebook account to contact them and get that discount code. That discount code is available for people who are in the USA as well as in Europe. $1 million. Yeah.
Would be around about
All right.
350, 300, 400 quid roundabout.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, it's not too bad. You got to think you're essentially getting two printers for this price, and it's a fairly large build volume. So you got to think
300 by 300, or
yeah, that's 300 by 300 by 350. But you're essentially getting a dual colored printer that has two extruders. So essentially, it's two printers in one in a way. So I mean, that's a pretty good deal. Never knew about that wire brush on a heating hot end. That's good to know. Yeah, that's something I actually just saw somebody do a mistake with that on TikTok the other day, where they were cleaning a disaster that they had on their hot end. They heated it up, let it melt off, and then it went with the wire brush across it. And the problem is they hit their thermistor wire and their heater cartridge, and when you touch those together with the heat block, it essentially short circuits the driver. You could blow the driver. You can even go as little as just blowing out the thermistor, which thankfully when I did that, that's what happened to me. So all I had to do was replace the thermistor. So
that's why you
hey,
switch heat it up first, and then
yes,
you use the wire and switch everything off, and then use the wire brush. But even then, you
yeah.
can
So
damage everything.
right. So my suggestion, if you're going to use a wire brush on a heated hot end, heat it up and then turn off the printer, then use the wire brush. So that way it's still hot. You can use the wire brush to get it all off, and then you're good to go. But if it's energized in any way, shape, or form, you don't want to touch a wired brush to an extruder or a hot end that's heating up. So yeah, exactly. A nice short. So it's not a good day. All right. So let's we might have to pull this out. Grab this before I throw that on the ground. This way everybody kind of gets a shot. I need like a small table. Ask my buddy to build me one.
Oh, those are the diner tables, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially what they are. Is they're dining tables. Because I don't have any room to put it anywhere. I need to get rid of some stuff. So essentially, setup is going to be pretty easy on these. We're just going to be putting in about 4 bolts for the uprights here. We just need to figure out what bolts we need exactly. So let's see. And unfortunately, these are not labeled, but usually when you have an upright, you usually have larger bolts. So you just got to find the pack that has 6 of them, or 5 of them, 2, 4, 5. So essentially, these are going to be my upper bolts right here. Let's get our Allen keys out.
I kept hearing music in the background, but I didn't know where it came from.
You kept on hearing what?
Playing music in the background, like, and I couldn't hear. I was hearing it, but I couldn't know where it was coming from. And I looked at my iPad, and my iPad didn't show anything. It was running anything, and I just switched it off, and the music went off. I mean, I had to power it off,
Yeah.
because no app was running. And I'm like, huh? Why is there music playing?
Yeah, exactly. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, my stuff has been acting weirdly lately. Also, my girlfriends and some other people I know, their stuff is going very odd lately.
Yeah.
Even my Facebook, some of my friends list, they don't show up.
Huh. That's very strange. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Right? Yeah. All
Man, looks very nice. I actually wanted to get an IDEX and do, of course, a lithophane. What's new?
Yeah,
Uh,
that would be perfect for a lithophane, an IDEX.
yeah, I thought about to do the borders in the different colors. And have the inside white and the outside like a different color.
Yeah,
I think would be nice. I could do
absolutely.
custom made frames. That's my idea of what I want to do for.
I need some more room. I'm gonna end up knocking something over by the end of the night. I know it. I know it.
Are the big SD cards or little SD cards go in there? The micro SD cards.
So it comes with a large SD card, but I have to see. I gotta find out where the SD card slot is.
I prefer the big ones because you don't lose them so quickly.
Yeah.
Since I have printed myself a little box for my SD cards, little ones, I have no more problems. So
Let's get. Ugh.
it's all being organized and always use it. I know where the
Absolutely.
stuff is, where you put it. Which mat you talking about? Akuma mat or me? Time to tear down the walls, Matt.
Yeah, he's probably talking to me. I
Matt,
wish
is
I
it
could.
because you're using Apple, lol? No, I have it on multiple platforms. The problem, I have it on my uh, Windows machine. I have like 3 Windows machines, and I have a problem on all of them, and all of my iPads and phone. And I try logging in from somewhere else, and same problem. So it must be a Facebook issue. Because I have people, some people show up, but they have no faces. They're like a blank,
Huh.
just with the name on it. And then I have normal ones where you see the name and the picture on it. And then
Right.
I have some people disappear. I'm like,
Very strange.
yeah. And then a couple of days I show up again or so. Or uh, when the next update comes out.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's how Facebook mobile is. It's always
Yeah, I always have
something
to
that
go.
they change and then it goes downhill from there. So. All right, let's take a look.
That was quick.
Yes, I thought you hated FDM printing. Yeah, I do. Looking at this man doing work. You need a bigger space. Absolutely. Yeah, time to tear down the walls. I agree, but the wife says otherwise. So I actually originally, when I planned this maker space that I have here, essentially what it was is I was going to have this entire area, but then she wanted the entertainment center back, and so that plan all changed. No worries,
Matt.
though.
Yeah, I thought you were the man of the house.
Nope, sorry. Technically,
That's
it's not
great.
my house; it's hers.
Oh,
She's got the money. I just work here. What do I know? So I will say that assembly instructions are a disaster here. So I am just forewarning you because it does say 5 screws, but that's not the case. It is actually 4 screws. So either way. All right, now it wants us to assemble the dual extruder and nozzle kits. So E2 is on this side. And essentially, these just kind of clip in here a little bit. And then I might have to raise the gantry a little bit.
he wears the pants in the relationship, but she buys the pants for him in the first place.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend is, or my fiance, she's a boss too.
Yep. That's how it is. Not the
But
end of the
she's
world.
very supportive in with what I'm doing. You know, in 3D
Exactly.
printing.
As long as I have my space, I'm good. So.
Oh no, she even invade my space.
Ah.
So she's actually going on to the streams with me and or sits in the chat and talks to people and yeah. The other week she was building the Prusa. I mean,
Yeah.
here you go, there's the Prusa Mini.
Nope. Sorry, just a real Prusa here.
I know, I'm jealous. You get a bigger one than me.
That's what she said.
It's not about size, it's all how you use it.
Lies. Just something she says to make you feel better. So essentially, there's 4 bolts on each extruder. These kind of clip into place, but they don't stay clipped. So just be aware of that when you're setting it up.
Don't they have a laser version or like coming out with a laser version of it?
You know, I heard something about that where they were going to do like one extruder was going to be the filament and another one was going to be the laser. So I mean, that's not something that hasn't been done before. It's just I don't see the real use for it, to be in all honesty.
I know.
So.
Unless you want to melt the plastic and
yeah. Like I could see that, like if you wanted to do an engraving on your plastic, okay, that's kind of cool, but I don't really see a need for that at all.
See, this is where
why not modify it?
See, this is where I have an argument with Astro Printer. He says it's not possible to write with a laser onto PLA and like engrave your logo on it.
Oh, it absolutely is. I've seen people do it before.
Because he says it's gonna melt, and I said, Well, just have to put down the wattage. I mean, to like the lowest setting,
Yep,
maybe.
that's
And
literally all you have to do.
instead of going 3 passes, I go 1 pass.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
I saw a
also
guy
the
on
speed.
TikTok the other day do it. He printed out a piece and then he had it laser engraved.
Oh, he's just giving me a hard time.
Oh, Yuri. You guys know who Yuri is? Forward 3D Printing.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Yeah, he did that the other day where he printed a fan duct for somebody and he was laser engraving the guy's logo on it.
All right, cool.
Now, granted, that's probably higher end material, but
Yeah.
still,
Yudi went out of. No, not Yudi went out of the group. But he's still in
yeah.
the group. But I didn't see anything. Normally, they post in my group. I'm a member of a special group where most of the. Well, there are a few 3D printers in there, but it's a private group, and maybe like 15 people are in there. 15.
Right.
And we share each other projects in there and show each other projects off and talk about if we have any problems, and we try to find solutions.
Right. But yeah, like you said, I don't see why you can't just turn down the wattage and engrave on it. It might not be like a super indentation grave, but you could
Yeah,
at least put a brand over it, like a light
that's what I
coat.
want. That's what I want.
So
So I
should it
can.
enough just to have the name on there?
I want to be able to put my picture underneath there, my lithophane, and engrave the maybe on the border my markings.
Right. All right. Let's check some chat. Is this a competitor to the Sobel SVO4? So I'll be honest, I don't have the SVO4 yet, but most likely it will be. He wears the pants in a relationship, but she buys the pants for him in the first place. Hey, I'm fine with that. So yeah, I don't really know if this is a direct competitor, but I would have to say so because they are both IDEX. And Tenlog has been around doing this for a little while. So I know the earlier versions had a lot of issues, but I was told that these newer units are a lot better than what they used to be. So I do have a laser engraver as well. My wife bought me one a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, a couple months ago, and I just don't have the room to put it anywhere. Putting a 3D printer together, I had the room and printer for my computer. Yeah, it's a lot of work doing all this. So I don't miss the days of building an FDM printer where I'm used to doing resin. You take it out of the box, you pour resin in it, and you start printing. That's how literally every single one of them are. You don't have to I've never had one that you had to build ever. All right, so we got that. Let's so we got all those. So now we need the filament set up, filament brackets with some T-nuts, 2, 4, 5.
The only thing is, I don't like that the filament just goes on top. Sits
What
on
on it
top
on
of.
here?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah,
Sits on top of the gantry.
yeah, it does. So
Yeah.
if you have full spools, like if you're not using the half kilogram or whatever these are, 200 grams. Like if you're not using these small things, then yeah, it's a lot of weight on the gantry. So for something like this, I highly suggest finding a different setup for it. But obviously, not everybody can afford getting a different setup like that. So understand
Well,
completely.
it's only 20 quid if the printer's near the wall. You just need to position it on the wall and put like a spool, like a hanger there. So you have
That's very
the
true.
spool
That's
hanging
very
on
true.
there.
What's up, Art? How's it going? I'm gonna have to get my hands on a resin printer. So just FYI, I'll probably be putting at least one, if not two, up on the store soon. just like I did with the other big printers I had. So, but
Yeah,
they'll
I
be
need to.
smaller resin printers, nothing big. I might actually let go of the Weebox. I'm battling myself to not let it go, but I think it's time. It's probably my best resin printer I will ever have my hands on. At least it is to date. So can't wait to see you rate a dual filament because I'm waiting that to be my next. Well, that's essentially what I told them. So one of the guys who admins the Tenlog Facebook group, he's like, hey, just mention my Facebook group if you can, just so people know it's there. And obviously, I just did. So it is out there, and he's like, I just like to know your opinion on the printer. And I'm like, well, you know how I am. I'm not like brutally honest. Like I'm gonna say it's a total pile of garbage, unless it really, really is. But I'm gonna make some sort of effort to contact the manufacturer or figure out if there's a fix for it before I tell everybody, like, yeah, this is probably not a printer for you. But like I said, in the past, these have been pretty disastrous printers from what I've seen. But everybody that I've talked to with these newer versions say that they're a lot better than they used to be. So that's just my initial thoughts on it. But
People didn't know how to use them. There was not
yeah,
much
and that's
information
the other
out
thing.
there.
Like that's the same argument I had with people and the G-Tech A10M when it first came out. Like you had to know what you were doing in that aspect in order to really get to know those printers because they're just vastly different compared to any other printer that was on the market. So you had a lot of people that had problems with it because they didn't know how to actually use the printer itself. So,
Yeah, the hot end goes very quickly on the A30Ms.
okay.
So
Oh, they have Capricorn tubes. I hate these.
I had to replace mine after half a year
Wow. Okay.
because
I mean, but
it got
still,
a.
that's not bad for you. You print a lot, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I used to print at least 2 3 days out of the week, So
Okay, so they do include at least one extra nozzle with this. So if anybody is wondering.
I
All
did
right. So
convert
now
my A30Ms into A30 Pros.
I really hope that they let these filament sensors run willy nilly. No, they don't. They do attach somehow, some way. But I guess I can leave them
Don't they go on
running.
top, I think?
Yeah, so it looks like they go above. So here's something that is different that they did. So they swapped the way that these are put on here. So originally, there was actually connectors that went onto the extruders, whereas now they're just hardwired into the extruder, and then the connectors go into the back. It used to be swapped. So there used to be lines coming out of the back of the machine to the extruder, and then you attached it to the extruder. That's not the case anymore. So the instructions are for the original models, which obviously they don't use. So we're going to have to. I mean, we'll just run them willy nilly anyway. I guess we could zip tie it. There is 2 holes here, which is probably why they included the zip ties. But it's not the end of the world. I'd rather have them run about because that's how I was first taught with filament runout sensors, is just to leave them hanging there, because if you have them situated in a fixed position and something happens where the filament snaps or something, it might not trigger it. Whereas if you have it running willy-nilly, if something snaps in there, the chances of it falling out are better than it is when it's in a fixed position. But that's just my 2 cents on that. I'm sure everybody else will have their own thought process on that.
Yeah, we all do.
But yeah, these are set up differently. So this will be very, very interesting indeed. Now, do these go up and over? Yes, they do. Okay. So I'm a little concerned that we missed some steps here because there's a couple screws that are here.
Well, they came with spare, you know, like IKEA.
Yeah, but like these are two different screws out of anything else.
Oh, wow.
And it's only 2, so I don't know where those would go. And then there's 2, 4, 5. So these are probably for the filament runout sensor. So they're probably something to connect those to somewhere.
Did I see it right in on the last stream? Daniel popped in.
Daniel.
Maker Hub.
Yeah, he popped in. It was a couple streams ago. He popped in at about 4 in the morning. No, it was like 6 in the morning when he popped in, and I at that time I had to go, so I already had things that I needed to do. Unfortunately, his timing was not good. All right, so now we're just gonna put in all the wiring, get this all situated. This is probably for the X. Yes, it is. That all situated.
See if I can get my colors right on my lamp.
Lots of connectors. Still, this isn't taking too long for building an IDEX printer. I'm kind of surprised, actually. I expected this to take a heck of a lot longer to get this all situated. And we're not going to use those golden tubes. Got that situated, that. I really want to know where those 2 screws go. Like, what are those for? Because they're very unique screws. They don't even show it on here. On the packing list. Well, that's awesome.
Then maybe, do you have some of the IDEX come with like purge buckets?
Oh yeah, you know what, there is. Yep, that's what it is. But they don't show it on the instructions here. Because like I said, these instructions, they're still for the older machine. So they're not it's not necessarily updated. So they need to update that a little bit.
I don't know why they have to have purge buckets. Oh yeah. Okay.
You gotta wipe the print off.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, it's better than with an A30M where I had to do a filament tower basically, and purge tower, and
Right.
use so much filament, unbelievable. I probably use the same amount of filament as what I used in the print itself.
See, and that's my biggest issue with like trying to do the dual color on something that is not set up for it. Is that you waste so much filament doing it. And I mean, for someone like me, it doesn't really matter to me, but just seeing that is just like that's a lot of money that somebody can save. So
Yeah.
oh wow, way better view. I have a Gemitsu Pro V XL CNC where you can switch between router and laser, and I love mine, and it's great for making small little gifts for families. Yeah, that's kind of cool. You're gonna put me in the poorhouse? Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Hey, that YouTube unboxing going to help you? I'll be honest, I didn't even see it. What printer are we looking at? The Tenlog D3, TLD3, actually. I love your content and your advice. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, if for those who are on TikTok, if you guys want to chat on the actual stream we're having, we're live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Basically, you can find me on Akuma Mods on YouTube, and that's essentially where I will be. If you guys want to join in on the normal chat for those who are in the TikTok land. But essentially, I think we're good. We just need to hook up the extruders now, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, let me do my Mr. T impression. I pity the fool who doesn't be a member. So, like and subscribe, and become a member.
Absolutely. Every little subscription helps.
Oh, I have a cat right now bothering me. She wants to be petted, and she wants to have food probably again.
That's right. Who loves kitty? Those your shoes?
Oh, she's a fat little cat.
All right, so we have
I can't pick her up to show you guys, but trust me, she's big. She can feed the whole Chinese army.
That's so wrong.
What?
That she can feed it a whole Chinese army. Matt's instruction for assembly for resin and done. Yeah, that's literally my instructions for resin printing, and that's not even a joke. Oh wait, what is this? What is this? English E2 adjusting of the screw. Oh, so they did send an update. My bad. So I didn't see the other directions here that are kind of situated, but
all right. Yeah, the one of them should slide up and down a little bit, and I think you have to do. You're supposed to put something underneath the nozzle, so it levels on top of the bed. I think it's not a piece of paper. I think a piece of plastic. That should be. A piece of
I think
plastic,
I see. I think I see where these screws go in. I think these are to adjust the extruders up and down. It's very strange, but I guess that's kind of a okay way to do that.
I'll be right back. Nature calls.
Alrighty, sir. We will be here. Unless I throw it out the window, but so far so good. Better than a reality. Ooh. I said it.
Oh, that's the wrong screen.
Okay. Adjusting the mounting screws, so that's if we need to adjust up or down. That's kind of a pain in the butt, I'll be honest, but that's all it is. It still doesn't say where the purge buckets need to go, but essentially they should be going on the sides here. But is there mounting tabs for it to go on the side? Here is the $1 million question. I believe so. we're going to have to look at some pictures here because there obviously is not. I can't wait until the new Prusa machine is out where it has 5 separate hot ends. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to have big issues with that printer because it's something that is completely new and a lot of people just won't understand the technology that is there. So, but that could just be my 2 cents on it. Yeah, so there's literally no difference between these two. Okay, so it is up and over. Thought I was losing my mind. Love my resin printer. Wish I would have started a long time ago and gone a little bigger. Yeah, I mean that's everybody. And I tell everybody that when they get into resin printing, like, oh, but there's a small build volume. Trust me, you're going to want to upgrade right away. As soon as you start printing stuff, you're going to be like, this is awesome. All right, we got to look for some pictures. Tenlog D3. Let's look at pictures here because I need to figure out where these catch things go. We might have to get some help from our friends on the YouTube. Oh, okay, I see where they are. All right, cool. Nope, still didn't tell me that they belong there. All right. So this is where they belong. That's where all these small screws go. Oh boy.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh boy, I lost it. Somebody messaged me. Of course they will be.
That's one of
All
my
right,
list
so
of things for the
I found out where the white basins go, so get that all situated. Okay, so there's one on there. Another one set up here. Good second.
Yeah, I can see that similar how the Belt 3D printer confused people. I got mine and I just took my time and learned the machine and turned it up before I fully sand it.
Yeah.
Sanding? Yeah. I mostly take my time too. I take right now with the Prusa a little bit my time. I'm a little bit frustrated because I'm getting layer shifts on it. And
Check your belts.
yeah, I did already, and they're fine. The thing is,
That's
it's
one
going
thing
too fast.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will say that I like about the Prusa setup is that everything is just on the menu to check everything, so you don't have to really worry about it. Shots fired, poor Ender 3. Yeah, we don't talk about enders. No. Tried to join the Facebook group that I think something went wrong. Oh, on my Facebook group? It's possible you didn't answer the questions right. If you need to, just hit me up on Facebook and I'll help you out. It's facebook.com/Akuma Max. That's AKUMAMAX. So, yeah, I can see that similar to how the Bell 3D printer confused people. I got mine and I just took my time. Yeah, I already read that. Let's just go through here really quick. Okay. All right, so we're all caught up. I think we're all good now. I'm still a little confused on how this exact setup works, but I'm sure we'll figure it out really quick if we start having issues. Yeah.
What slice are you gonna use on it?
What
Ideal
slicer?
maker
I
or
use Cura.
Yeah.
So I do have Cura loaded up. I'm not a big fan of using it, but you know it's there, so we might as well.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's profiles already set up on the SD card to get us going. So you know, might as well just let it rip and go from there. All right. So now onto the filament. Now, question for the peeps: should we use brand new filaments, these two, or should we go with the open pack Yusu silk filaments that are essentially the same size? And if we do go with the Yusu, what colors? Because I think I have some very unique colors in here. Let's see. Instead of the gray and orange yellowish, well, I guess that's kind of gold, actually, because this is gold and it looks almost the same, and this is silk gold. I also have silk white, then I also have silk silver. So I do have silk colors.
But you're printing.
Should we use the stock colors, or should we use the silk ones?
Yeah, but what are you printing?
I don't know. We'll use the test print. So after your review, is this printer going on your Etsy? I don't know, because this one was sent to me, so we'll probably end up giving it away. If
Silver
I do.
and gold.
Yeah.
Silver and yellow.
Man, I've had the worst luck with both Anycubic Cobra Max and the M3 Max. Really? If you can, just hit me up, and maybe we can get you situated here, because that's kind of rare. I'll be honest, I have been having some issues with my M3 Max, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and take a look at it. But I will see what's going on. Is the eSun filament good? Well, that's Yusu, actually. The other ones are probably eSun filaments. But yes, eSun in general is that. So if anybody who doesn't know, 90% of the film, well, probably 98% of the filament that comes out of China, or is a Chinese brand, is made by eSun, which is also eSun owns Sunwood. So they are a subsidiary of it. So it's a trickle effect. Don't ask me why there's so many brands under one company. It's just a Chinese thing, I guess. But yeah, they do that all the time. So just FYI, like Hatchbox, Amazon Basics, eSun, all those are the same eSun filament line. Sunlu, Jo, 3D Warhorse, 3D Max, I think, is part of that. But yeah, if anybody knows, you could have easily found that out when they introduced the filament dryer setups. eSun had been selling those at Micro Center for like the last, I don't know, 4 years. And then they rebranded them as Sunlu and then tried to kick it off to get all their stock out of there. That's disgusting. All right. Haven't branched out yet. Sunlu will never get my business ever again. Well, if you use any Chinese filament, they're getting your business in one way, shape, or another. So I'm just letting you know that. Let's see. I love my Ender 3 Max. I have 5 of them. They're all stock, and I've had zero issues with them. I don't see many people have too many issues with Creality branded printers. What? You're joking, right? Anyway, the Ender 3 Max is probably one of the best Ender 3 lines. That was probably a really good printer. I like that one a lot. I was just concerned about it was a single Z on such a large machine. That's my only pet peeve about it. But yeah, Ender 3s in general are just disastrous. I think it's probably because most people don't do the full research and try 3D printing. Absolutely, it is. It is a mix of that, but I will say that I've had some duds. Case in point, the Ender 3 that I have here, the power supply was bad on it, so I had to do some soldering on it right out of the box. The LCD screen wasn't working, and then it was binding, so I had to literally tear the entire machine down to get it to work right. So. Nothing, you have an Ender 3 and it's nothing but problems. Yeah. After 2 months, they finally contacted me about it. And bank ruled in my favor after the evidence sent. Well, that's cool. I love my Hatchbox filaments. Leave me alone. Hey, Hatchbox is a nice filament. Those eSun filaments are the higher end ones. So those are really, really good filaments. And that's I just laugh when people say, oh, well, I have issues with this. Well, there are different, I guess, extrusion lines that they use in the factory. So, I mean, I can understand that, but some are better than others. But Hatchbox, eSun, Amazon Basics, that's all the same extrusion line. So, since nobody said anything, I'm just going to go with the stock colors here. We're going to go silver, and I think this is silver and gold, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, it's not orange or yellow. So, essentially, these are the same ones that I was going to use. Was the Hatchbox ones, or the Yusu one. I really like the Yusu brand. In fact, I just got their new co-extrusion filament, so you guys are going to see some content with that coming out very soon. We're going to do some cool prints with that. And then it's funny because like I have a partnership with Rep Wrapper, and they're essentially a Sunlu brand. And it's funny because I totally put on these filament things backwards. Awesome. I'm awesome like that. Yes, I'm awesome. No, I am not awesome. Switch those around because I am stupido. As you can tell, you know, I'm a professional when I do 3D printing builds. Mm-hmm.
We all sing. Well, not me. I don't sing. I can't sing. But we all sing inside, you know, in the head. You know, like certain songs. There's
Yes.
certain songs I can't get out of my head, especially when I wake up and listen to the first song what's on the radio. I'm like singing that song all night, all day long in my head. It's
Yep.
like, oh. So that's why I always watch from in the morning, always TV.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's the one thing I drive my wife crazy about because I can listen to a song over and over and over and over and over and over again for months on end before I get sick of it. And then once I get sick of it, that's it. I can't listen to it anymore.
You're an hour building it. Hour and 4 minutes. Laugh Hatchbox filament, leave me alone.
That's not bad since, you know, the last time I built a printer was probably 8 months ago, maybe longer.
Yeah, but 2/3 is also talking, you know.
Yes, that's very true. So, in actuality, it's probably like half an hour of building. Come on, PD.
Stop whining.
I will say I'm surprised they didn't do the new style extruders with the built-in filament runout detectors on them. I know they're not the greatest, but if you get it right, they work very well. All right. Time to stop me up. Stop me up, and never stop. Thank you. I'll be here all night. All right.
Yeah.
So essentially, it looks like we're going to have to level these, which that is the thing that I'm always like, how does that go down? That's interesting. So, any cubic Cobra Max, what's with all the mixed emotion with that printer? I don't know. And you know what? I haven't seen a lot of people have issues with the Max. I've heard some here and there, but it's mostly been good.
Yeah. I hear mostly good stuff. I'm a moderator at the Anycubic website for Facebook, and so far only a few people had some issues with it, but it was mainly, I think, packaging issue. Like it was rough handled, the printer, for
Yeah.
delivery.
So this does use a full-size SD card, just FYI. All right. So now what we got to do is we got to home this. Let's see if it gives me any instructions on how to do this. I have no idea. First time for everything.
I have a look into it. 38 minutes. Wow.
Howdy, howdy. When will then be now? I was waiting for this on YouTube. So we're actually live on YouTube right now. So if you guys want to jump over to YouTube, the YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Shakuma Mods, one word. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and chat there if you want. All right, so looks like maybe an issue with the extruder there. I don't know. Okay. So we have working nozzle and standby nozzle. Okay. So I would think if we level one, both of them would be good. That's the assumption, but all right. So we're going to do tools. We're going to do leveling.
I think you only level one, and the other one.
It should essentially be the same, right? I would think.
No, I don't think you level the second one. The second one.
Oh no! So it does have the ability to level both here.
All right. I'm not sure. So best of asking Astroprint about that leveling.
Yeah. So on here it does say that it's leveling nozzle 1 right now, but you can switch it. There is an option right here. All right. So now what, we go front corner. Oh, that's pretty good right out of the box there. That's amazing. All right, let's go front right. That's a little too close.
And then you have to just slide, I believe. Because if you level the bed once with the first one and you try to level it again with the second one, the bed's going to be again off level with the first one.
Yeah, I always level at least 2 or 3 times with each one. So.
Okay.
What's up, Jerry? How's it going, man?
Hey, Jerry. How are you? Hey, Matt. Oi, kitty. Stop scratching.
And that's exactly why I do it a couple times, because this front one was good when we first started. Now it's not.
Yeah, that's the second one. You adjust the height with on the side there should be a screw, I believe. I'm not sure on the second one. But you can slide the hot end up and down.
Yep.
You might know, Jerry. He just got an IDEX. I forgot what type he have. What IDEX you have? 3D HP, Jerry.
What's up, Non-Fam? How's it going, man?
A Widow he got. All right.
I got their smaller one because I wanted to get it for my son. That's the one I have. Although it's under like their French brand name. I don't know why. What it is. All right. So we're almost done leveling the first one. Okay, I think we're good. Now we can level the secondary one. So my one concern right now that I've been hearing is this is very loud. I'm hearing a lot of vibrations, and I don't know if it's the crappy plate that I have this sitting on, or if it's maybe one of these wheels are over tightened. But we'll have to look at that once we're done leveling. Okay, so now we're going to switch to Nozzle 2, and we're going to level on that. I have no idea what it's doing. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Sorry, I posted a video reply to your response about you may have a resin printer. Oh, no problem. Just did my first 3 prints on my Ender 3 Pro. Cool. Tall build volume. Yeah, it's 350. So it's 300 by 350. So pretty big. I'm going to move the Z-axis then. All right, what's going on here? Why does it think it's opposite? It's not home, buddy. Yeah, I have a feeling one of these wheels is insanely tight. Oh, no, they're not. They're just loose. That's not it. Did you guys really send me Alan or you guys are funny. Okay.
Yeah, I know they're making fun of me again.
How do you guys send me wrenches with not a size that can be utilized for the wheels? Come on now. What's wrong with y'all? Thankfully, I always keep the spare one with me. All right, let's try this again. Go back, go to print from SD card. Okay, so it looks like it's got a 20 by 20 cube. Let's just go ahead and try and print.
What I don't like about the Prusa slicer is every time I put a new setting in, well, the couple settings, every time I put information in there, it will reset itself. But it's funny. So now I got it, 100%.
Like it messes up?
No. Just when I put print settings in, then it asks me, do you want to save it or leave the old one? And when I press yes, then everything else what I put the info in, like infill, goes back to its original setting.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit annoying, but it's just a thing what I have to get used to it. So
Alright, so both of the fans work. I think my under 3 might be going because it randomly loses track of positions and will slam the hot ends. Awesome. Yeah, that might be a board issue. Let's take a look at that.
oh, that's room. Six hours, 15 minutes. That's not bad. Let's see.
All right, so we're setting off a test print right away and seeing how this goes. I think I finally got the Cobra Max tuned enough to actually print on it now. Oh, if you need any help, just let me know.
I wouldn't mind having a Cobra Max, maybe.
Be nice. That's a big boy.
It's 400 by 400, right? Or
I think it's 450.
450? Wow.
Yeah. I have a Creality CR10 S5 upstairs. There we go. Come on now. Oh. Come on. And I will say, if they don't have a dual color test print on here, I'm going to be very disappointed. I want a belt printer bad, so if the under I mean, so if you want a belt printer, there is a kit out there. There's a guy he's from Brazil, and he makes an Ender 3 kit for super cheap. I think it's the cheapest one on the market. And it's a handful of extrusion type stuff, and you essentially turn your Ender 3 into a belt kit for super cheap. I think everything in total was less than like $500, maybe even less. So, a lot of Cobra Max. It's a sexy printer. I agree. It is very nice. So it's going down good. Can't stand that it's on a raft, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I don't remember the site or the name off the top of my head, but if you look up Ender 3 belt kit or belt printer kit, I'm sure you'll find it. He has one. He only has two models. He's got it one for the Ender 3 and one for the artillery sidewinder. Yeah, PEI is great. I love it. I absolutely love PEI Flex Steel. What do I have on the resin printer? You mean the big one? That is the commission prints. It's part of a sash for armor.
Oh, about the belt printers.
Yes.
About the belt printers, one thing, make sure. I think I would not go with Creality Ender printer because there's so many different types of Enders. Very, models out there. They are slightly different. Sometimes they are different from production line to production line. And I would say artillery is more consistent with their technology, what they're using, though it's always going to be the same and same size. And because I heard some other things like people ordered an Ender 3 or had Ender 3, and the Meanwell power supply machine was, I think, different from others. I think that was with Jerry and Astro Printer, because they were building one too, but I don't know what guy what the name of the person was. Jerry, are you still here?
Yes, that is very true. So the one that I'm talking about, they do specify which kit is for what Ender, and because of the extrusion rails that they replace on it, I do believe that is for the Ender 3 and the Ender 3 Pro only. No, yeah, I don't suggest the TikTok ones, but I know some people are using that. And the only reason why I personally don't do the TikTok ones, because there was a huge issue where I guess those were stolen files from someone or something along those lines, where they were basically making money off of somebody else's project or something like that. So I was like, all right, I don't care what it is. I'm just not even going to touch it. So because they reached out to me to have it too. So is resin safe to have on your face after it's being cured, like a mask or a helmet? Yeah, as long as it's cured, it's 100% safe. If you want to go a little bit further, throw a clear coat on it. If you're even more concerned about it, but yeah, I've had masks. A lot of people that do cosplay resin prints with masks. All right, so we have an issue with the right extruder, so we're going to figure out what's going on with that. For some reason, it is not. It's not like homing properly. Well, bed adhesion's good. Leveling is good. Might be a little bit less in the back corner, but I think that was because we didn't have the filaments all the way in there. Let's take a look here. Let's do some leveling. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Ooh, that sounds terrible. Sounds like a razor machine. Ooh. Carl just sent me about a belt kit, belt printer. Uh, I shared that in the chat. It's better belt kit. It's
Okay.
one Matt talked about.
Just wanted to stop by and say hello. Need to sleep for work tomorrow. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in, bud. Aren't you supposed to do the cone calibration? You mean cube calibration? Well, we were doing it, but there's something up with the right extruder here. I should probably move this camera so you guys can see on the YouTubes, on the actual stream, what is going on here. You know, that would be nice.
I shared with you in private chat. That's what
There we go.
Carl sent me.
Yeah, I saw. Give me a second here.
Okay, Carl.
I don't know if that's the one, but it might be. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll have to take a look and see what belt kits it is. But, it's the one that Honey Badger built. Okay, so it is that one. All right. Yeah, that's the one that I'm aware of. So anyway, let's try and get this situated and see what's going on with it. Because obviously something is not right. Like the switch for it is not set up right.
Oh, no wonder. All my settings are gone. No. Oh.
Okay.
Have to redo them all again. Travel 60. Print speed. Let's do 40. That should do it, I think. Can we do that one?
No, this is not engaged. Why is this not engaged? Okay, this is not right with this extruder. Let's turn you off. Find out what the hell is going on.
Next week I'm gonna go to the fair what I've been talking about. The book fair. And they're gonna be the only 3D printers there.
Nice.
And I'm gonna do some hopefully I try to get my contracts for over the year, like print for certain people, certain stuff like lamps mainly.
Right.
And I convert the book into basically in the litho lamp. So I should make some money out of that. But I only do this once a year and for a limited amount of people,
Yeah.
Because my thing is charity. But I do see to recognize I need to recover my costs for my electric and my filament, what I put in, and
right.
Yeah, it's all expensive, And I thought about maybe to do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 customer a month. They can order from me.
There you go.
I
You
need
like
more than that.
an exclusivity thing?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
This way I don't have time pressure, about making constantly for more and more people, and like as soon this one is finished printing, I have to put the next one on. I don't want to do this. I want to have a little bit more space in between so I can do the maintenance and check the printers and do other projects, like for charity and for myself.
Right. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
Export G-code.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so that's working. That's working. All right. That's working. Man, you have a lot of boxes against that wall. Yes, I do. That's all printers. Well, you know what? I might have added on a delay on YouTube. I don't remember. I set it up a while ago. All right. Let's go ahead and give access for Nozzle 2.
Are you really coming to that fair? Belt might be too tight.
Might be too tight. Might need to be tightened. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's too tight. Yep. This is going to be fun.
Because there are several belts on there, aren't they?
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem. There's like 2 different belts that are wound differently and fun stuff. Never a dull moment. Always something.
Yep.
Always. Every single time.
But that's basically normal, I think, because it's not like you ordering a 3,000 pound printer. You know what already comes leveled and everything, and
No, but I mean, for $700 US, it's a pretty hefty price to pay for a printer.
yeah, I do agree, and I do agree there should have a little bit more of consistency in their, like make sure that the printer properly runs.
Yeah.
That the belts are tightened, but But depends also on how it gets transported. So if it gets transported rough, it
That's
might
true.
loosen itself or it gets broken, and
Very, very true.
so there's always the chance of redoing it again.
All right.
And I think I didn't put my picture straight.
I'm like right in the friggin' way, guys. Anybody get seasick? Oh well. There. All right. So essentially, yeah, I think this is way too tight. That's the issue. So either one of two things are going to need to happen. Either we can try and loosen this a little bit, or we might have to actually go on the extruder part and loosen it that way.
Hey, Katniss. What, Mama? Don't give me Mao. No. No. Don't give me lip. You're on air. Yeah. Have a conversation
Right,
with my
there we
cat
go.
right now.
Printer is now fixed.
Cool.
That's because Matt runs on Duncan. So, so dumb.
I'm just too annoying you? Huh? Oh, just to annoy me? Alright. You want to annoy me on the fair. Don't worry, we have security. And I'm pretty friendly with the security guards, so I know most of them. And I know some police officers too, so I probably can find some illegal 3D printer in your car boot or something.
I mean, it's Carl. They wouldn't really see much of a threat anyway. They'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing, you skinny bloke?"
So far, so good.
Yeah, we're good now. So we're gonna go ahead and do that calibration cube right now, and hopefully we'll be
Cool.
off to the races after that.
Yeah, 1 hour and 40 minutes almost.
It's not too bad. So essentially an hour, I'd say. All right. So now we got that all situated. Let's go ahead and do our print again.
No, Carl, you're welcome to come if you want. But I think it's around about 15 quid of entrance fee. Or 17 quid entrance fee. And they run about 50 to 60 authors, book authors. So you can buy a book there, or you can buy a book and get it signed and
They
talk to the author.
They did discontinue my favorite drink, my Dunkachino.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the day that I go and order it, and then they're gonna tell me, "Sorry, sir, we're all sold out," and I'll be like, "No, why, God, why?" All right, so we're heating up the extruders right now. We'll get that set up, and then we should be ready to rock and roll. And no, I did not re-level anything. The E2 extruder, I just leveled on the 1 because I want to test out to see if the second extruder really does need to be leveled, because think about it. If one extruder is good, the other one should be good. It's on a linear rail axis. It's on a dual Z. So the Z's should be good. Everything should be lined up. Nothing should be out of sync. Should be. What do I get for 15 quid? I'm not even going to say. All right, let's take a look here. What printer is that? It is the Tenlog D3.
You get to enter. You get to enter the facility and talk to book authors, famous, some of them not so famous, different genres, you know, from sci-fi to romantic.
The litho famous people.
Exactly. For you, if you want to have, let's say, dinner with me and my fiance and your wife, $1,000. Yeah,
that's a steal.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? 100 quid?
No. I'm just kidding, Carl. We have to go to dinner one of those days. If I come in your neighborhood down there, because I think in around about 6 to 8 months I should be in your area where you live, in the south.
We're a little close.
I have to stand a little bit. My back is killing me.
Yeah, I was wearing fancy shoes today because I don't know if you guys celebrate it, but it was Mother's Day today. I don't know.
No, we had our Mother's Day a couple of months ago, I think.
Okay. All right.
I didn't celebrate it this year because I've fallen out with my mother, so she didn't get a call from me, so I forgot about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we were doing that today, and I was wearing fancy shoes, and yeah, my legs are killing me right now.
Oh no, that was Honey Badger who lives in the South End. Yeah, not South End, South Sea, somewhere down there, Essex. We should make something like this reality show. FX 3D printers.
Thanks for the likes.
The husbands of FX 3D printers, yeah. All right. Yeah. You live right on the North Pole, Carl, huh?
I think this is going to do this layer, and then it's going to switch over to the Extruder 2.
That would be interesting. So it's going to do like a zebra stripe.
Yeah. So yeah, for anybody that's watching and doesn't know what these printers are, essentially it's a dual color filament printer, but you don't need a purge block or anything like that because you have one extruder doing one color and another doing another. Now, obviously, if you're doing more than 2 colors, then you might have to mess with some settings, but essentially you should never need to use a purge block. So
yeah, it's moving over.
Okay, so now it's going home. That one should come out. Why are you not working?
That's not good.
All right. I want to go to a 3D printing convention this year, but I'm not sure. I might go to Murph. We'll see. So if you're going to Murph, I will most likely be there, at least for Saturday. I will be there. So, is there any other dual extruder printer with auto bed leveling? Well, I mean, there's other ones. I don't know about IDEX style. I don't know about that. So
Doesn't
I'm not sure.
Trusha have one already? What does it do? Dual colored one? Not an
Yeah, like
IDEX,
they have an
but
MMU, but I mean they don't have an IDEX style. So, but something's up with this. I'm gonna have to look into this further because this is still not working the way that it's supposed to.
might have to have a look on this.
Something's up with that E2.
Yeah. Now it should move for.
All right, move axes. Nozzle 2. Yeah, it's not moving the x-axis.
You live where Pool of Liver lives? Liverpool. Such an ugly name, I think. Liverpool.
Well, that's the problem. Most dual color filament printers are going to be around $700,
Yeah.
maybe 500. There's not any cheap ones out there that I'm aware of.
Between
Or
500
good,
and
I should
800.
say. If you do find one, it's probably not going to work very well. This is very strange. It like locks up on this.
Let me let my dog out quick because she is on the door sitting there. I'll be right.
All right. Just not getting it. So the issue is E1 is working, E2 is not. The sensor is working to trigger it. That's working. The motor is working. But for some reason, it's not finding home. But the sensors are working. Make that make sense. So there's E1. Okay. You gonna work now? Oh, sure. Now you work. Just make me an asshole. Okay. Let's try this for the third time. Is there a wire maybe getting stuck or something? Maybe that's it. I don't know. All right. Well, maybe now we're good. StreamYard link. I'll be honest. I'm not going to crowd up this this live stream. I'm probably going to end it here in about a next half hour, but I'll probably start up another one just to let you know, Salsa. Okay. Is the print maybe not dual color? No, it is, because if you saw, it laid down this part of the print, and then it basically wanted to do more, but this extruder was not moving out. So essentially it was printing, but this extruder wasn't moving to print. And it'll show you on the screen here. So right now we have extruder 1 blinking because that is our primary extruder that we are using. Well, hot end. It's an extruder plus a hot end. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to try it again because now it seems to be working the way that it's intended. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I just restarted the printer, so maybe that's all I needed. That seems to be working. So we'll try it one more time and hopefully it works. Right now it's been fail city, and that's no bueno for a printer right out of the gate. All right, so we're going to start this. I did turn it off and turn it back on, and it seems to work. So we tried the good old IT trick. So we'll find out right now if it starts working. Because what it'll do is it'll go to about 5% on this layer, and then it'll park E1, and then E2 will come in for about 2%. Then it'll park E2, and then come back to E1, and it'll switch off from there. We're going to have to adjust that back left corner. I can see it's already got too much squished on it. We're going to start clicking on that if I don't fix it. If not, then the next old IT trick would be to hit it on its side. Don't tempt me.
Or use a slash hammer.
Yeah.
No, looks like it's looking fine so far, my pusher.
Well,
With the new
we'll
settings.
see. We'll see. Once it hits 5%, it'll park E1 and then hit E2, and then we'll know from there. You know what? I have no idea what board is in here. All I know is it's insanely quiet. It's got 2209. So my guess would probably be like a Big Tree Tech, probably an SKR. That would be my guess right out of the box. Or Robin Nano. That seems to be a pretty common board with different printers. So, but I'm gonna go probably with an SKR 1.4 on this. So. All right, so we're at 6% actually. And then it should finish this layer, and then we should switch over to the other extruder. It will stop and park itself, or not. Oh, there we go. So now it's going to park itself, so E2 should come out. Boom.
Yeah. Filament not coming through?
Yeah, I didn't push it all the way through, so my bad. So we might have a layer shift on that. Definitely a layer shift. So it's essentially going to show off how fancy it can get and take twice as long. But I believe it is working, my friends.
Cool.
All right, I call that successful right now. I don't know if we're gonna be on here the entire time just printing.
But take at least 28 minutes or something like this.
Yeah, so I mean
Or-
it's at 10%. I want to try and end this in the next 25 minutes. So so far it looks more solid than the Sobel SVO4 IDEX. Now, I'll be honest, that's a rough statement. But this is a very, very heavy setup. This is chunky. Now, I personally like Sobel products, so I'm just gonna hold off until I get the SVO4 because that will be coming. But until that does, we'll do some printing with this. I'm sure we'll show off some dragons because that's what everybody loves to print with these things. And yeah, we'll go from there. But I'm sure I still got a couple things I got to play around with setting wise and get it all situated. But essentially, it's coming out pretty good. It'd be interesting to see this cube. But what I would like to do is to do like a rainbow filament and then something crazy, or maybe do a mix of rainbow filament. Like have one manufacturer's rainbow and another manufacturer's, which I do have that. So I have a rainbow filament just out of shot here on the setup, and then I have one right above me as well. So, but yeah, I'll hold off my my review for to say if it's better or not for the Sobel because I can't compare the two. But once I do get to Sobel, you definitely will hear me talk about the comparison between the two for sure, because that's usually what I do when I do reviews of printers. I know that's not what a lot of people like to do because you're basically cross differentiating products, but I like to let people know, like, if you're looking at this printer and you want this printer, these are the good and bads between them. You know, essentially they're the same printer, but you know, this might be why you want to go with that or this. And that's why you hear me talk, like if I'm doing reviews on lower end printers, you'll usually hear me talk about comparing it to an Ender 3, because that's basically the baseline for any 3D printer that's on the market. The same thing goes for like resin printers. You know, you hear me talk about the Anycubic Mono or the Elegoo Mars, because those are the base entry level printers. So glow in the dark blue and green. That would be kind of cool, actually. Definitely destroy the nozzles on these things, but yeah, that would be interesting to see. So this looks cool in theory, but I don't think it's going to look as cool on the exterior. Because I think what it's doing is it's doing one color on the exterior and one color on the interior. Unless I'm looking at it wrong, but essentially it's a 20 by 20 by 20 cube. So there's two test prints. There's a 20 and then there's a 40. So what's the max temp on these hot ends? That's a very good question that I do not know the answer. So let's take a look at some specs while we're letting that print, shall we? All right, so yeah, this is the Tenlog D3 Pro. It's a 2209 drivers, and it does have a BMG extruder, which I'll believe that when I see it. 280 degree high temperature nozzle setup with a 600 watt power supply. And then even though it says 300, it's actually 310 by 350. So.
Matt,
Yes.
sorry, I have to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna fall asleep.
That's fine, bud. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you for letting me come on.
Anytime. You have a good one.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay, so according to this, it can be anywhere between 280 and 300. Because I don't know exactly. Well, I got the TLD3 Pro, but like I said, there's two versions of this on Amazon, so I don't know what version it is. I think I just have the regular one because there's the UE version, and I don't know what the difference is between them. Anyway, let's bring this back up in the corner here. And then we will share our setup here. Main monitor. Can I do that? There we go. We'll size that down a little bit. All right, sorry for you who are in TikTok. You guys can't really see that. But yeah, essentially it says 10 to 150 millimeters, recommended 30 to 60. Yeah, I highly doubt this thing will hit 150 millimeters a second, but it's possible. It's a 24 volt system. It does say that the nozzle gets up to 300, but let's just call it 280. So it can print some higher end materials. Obviously, if you're going to do that, you need an enclosure. So there is different dual modes of printing. So there is dual material printing. You can use two colored filaments to print on the model to obtain two color models, or use the two different filaments to print soluble supports such as PVA to accurately achieve difficult to place models. So that's where these things usually stand out, is the dual extrusion stuff is when you are printing material that you just want to kind of wash away the supports. That's really, really nice. Duplication mode, that's kind of cool because you can print the same file at the same time. So if we did like a small model, like the Kendo bots that I showed off on my TikTok the other day, I could essentially print 2 of those at the same time. So it kind of be like resin printing, where you're printing it at the same time, and it's only going to be the factor of how much each extruder is. So if the extruder or the slicer says, okay, the Kendo bot's going to take you 4 hours to print, I essentially can print 2 of them at the same time. It's duplication mode, or whatever. And then there's also mirror mode, which I'll be honest, I don't think I'll ever see myself using. But essentially, if you have a right-handed statue and you need a left-handed statue, okay, then you're going to want to do that. So this is the great thing about that filament, is it just broke off here. So, and I'm guessing it broke off because it's wound wrong. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's a nice tangle. Well, Matt, how do you get out tangles? I'll show you guys right now. So we basically find the tangle. And that's good, because we can find out if the filament runout sensor is actually working. I think I enabled that. We'll enable it now. All right. So now it looks like we're good. All right, we'll just leave that there. All right, so yeah, so there's mirror mode. So if you have something that's facing the right side and you need that same model mirrored to the left side, you can do that. Again, I don't think I'll ever use that, but it's there just in case. Obviously, you can do dual material printing. So you can get real crazy with this. You can do a silk color for one part, or a matte color for another. So that's really, really cool that you can swap that type of thing. Or like somebody said, you can do a glow in the dark in some parts, and then a solid color in another. So that's kind of cool. Like, let's say you wanted to do a Star Wars guy, and he's got a lightsaber in his hand. You could essentially print the entire model in a solid color, but then you can print his lightsaber in a glow in the dark, and you don't have to use any purge blocks or anything like that. So that's really, really cool. That would be something to utilize that for. Or if you're doing a print in place saber, the same thing. I would print the collapsing part in like a glow in the dark, and then the entire actual model in like a gray or something like that. So that's really, really cool. This does have a filament runout detection. Like I said, these do run kind of willy-nilly. I'm sure you could zip tie them to the wiring. They do provide zip ties. I'm not going to do that because, like I said previously, I kind of like having them fly willy-nilly, because if something were to happen, case in point, where something breaks off and it doesn't detect it, on a fixed filament runout sensor, that doesn't always trigger that. Sometimes, it breaks right at the filament detection. I've seen that happen several times. And it's always with the ones that are locked on there. So when I used to work for TH3D Studio, all of their printers in their print farm have their filament runout sensors. They're usually off to the side, but they're in line, so they're not affixed to the printer in any way, shape, or form. And that's because if something happens, it's going to trigger an event and let you know. So it's kind of nicer. Plus, let's say something happens, you get a larger piece of filament that clogs in there. It's not going to rip apart that filament sensor right away. So, and it might do more damage. Boro glass, I'm kind of so-so with it. Supposedly it's got a BMG extruder. I'll believe it when I see it. I know it's got some printed parts on there, so maybe, but I'm not holding my breath on it. So there are different versions of this printer, apparently. There's the Tenlog D3 Pro 2209 and 2208. I believe this is the 2209 model. if I am not mistaken. And then there's also the TLD3 Pro BMG. So those are three different models they have. And then they have the smaller ones, which I believe these are comparable to like the Ender 3s. So let's take a look here really quick. I think this is the Ender 3 model. So for whoever was asking about a smaller or a cheaper model, they might not even make this anymore because they probably didn't sell very well. Yeah, they're not selling it. But yeah, essentially it's an Ender 3 with the same setup, but I guess they don't make it anymore. At least it's not available on Amazon. So price is $6.99. That is in the United States on Amazon. Obviously, if you went to their website, you could probably get them a lot cheaper. But as of right now, that's not the case. So, all right, let's go and get this all set up. Okay. Let's see. Have you ever used those water soluble? I have not. I've never used water soluble supports. I'm glad to say I've never had Tangle's filament. It happens. Usually it's user error. But that one obviously I don't know if it is, but normally that's the case. If it does happen, it's just not keeping it taut, and I'm definitely not keeping it taut right now. So there's possibility of it tangling again. Also never had a need for a filament runout sensor till I ran out of filament on my last print. Yes. So that's something that a lot of people don't think about. And then when you have one, you're like, how did I ever print without it? They actually are a great piece of equipment to have on any printer. I absolutely love them to death and can't really use without them anymore. So it may be interesting to print a box with the most transparent filament out there and then glow filament. See? And that's the cool thing. Like, let's say you wanted something that's like let's say you printed a Christmas ornament, okay? You can essentially do a transparent filament, which obviously that's more like frosted glass looking. It's not going to be transparent. It's not going to be see-through. But you can make something inside of that and make like your own snow globe type thing and make it kind of look cool. So maybe if you lit it up at the bottom, you can have something cool. Or like do it in different colors. So like you have a clear red and the clear for the outside for the globe part, and then you have it hollowed on the inside, so you put a lamp inside of that and it glows up the red piece inside. There you go. You know, that's some cool things like that. So it does have its uses. So, but yeah, transparent filament and glow filament, that would be cool. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's also just said. It's just a figure inside of it. Is a BMG extruder good? I just have an all metal one from Amazon. So I started using Titan extruders. And again, I usually get my stuff from TH3D Studio if I do any upgrades from printers. I haven't done any in a long time, but if I do, I go there. And the reason why I go there is they don't sell any parts that they don't purposely use or have used in their print farm. They don't just take a product and say, hey, this sells good, let's start selling it. No, they make sure that they utilize that product and make sure that it's good for their farm, and that way if something happens they can know, all right, well, this is an issue we found with it, and most of the time they're not going to sell it. So that's why I like going through them. And then also it's a local business, not the fact that I used to work for them or anything, but I like that. So I have noticed that retraction is a issue with these right now, so we'll have to tune up the retraction on these a little bit and see what's going on. But that's one of the things I'm noticing a lot is there's a lot of globbing on the sides here. I don't even know what I did with my phone. Oh, it's right in front of me. what's a good runout sensor? Really, anyone is going to do. They're all the same. Essentially, all they are is your end stop switches. That's all they are. You can even make one if you want. You can print a housing, go and grab a little switch, and that's it. I mean, that's essentially what they are. They're nothing fancy, but they work when you need them to. So definitely definitely look into that. Let's see. Get a baseball bat. Tell it it doesn't work right to get the bat. Wait. Was that you who did that TikTok? Hi, Kitty. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I block you from your area? It has a 10 log motherboard, I believe, so it's proprietary. I would like to see a 500 by 500 bed IDEX printer. That would be fun. So yeah, essentially that would be better for something like this, is to have a large build volume on an IDEX setup. So like I was just showing you guys the ones that are Ender 3 comparatives. I don't think those would work very well because you're limited to your build space. That's the problem with those. So like if you're doing duplicate mode and things like that, you're very limited on your space. So I don't really suggest that. Like 300 or above, that's where these things are going to be the best usage for it. So no, I wish I made that TikTok. Yeah, that was a good one. I love the big tree filament sensor. Oh, hey, getting to catch the Akuma live. Nice. What's up? Welcome to the live stream. We are checking out the Tenlog D3 filament printer. It's essentially a... What is going on here? It is essentially a dual color, dual filament printer in a way. It's got dual extruders and dual hot end setups. So for those who do not know, essentially this is a two-part. So this is a direct drive setup. It is an extruder with a hot end attached to it. So that is your 3D printing tip of the day. A lot of people get those two switched around, but actually the extruder is what feeds your filament, and the hot end is obviously the hot part that liquefies your filament spools and turns them into liquid plastic to spit out. The humble god. Oh yeah, don't get me started with that. You had me at dual. Yeah, so where these things really shine, in my opinion, is the fact that waste is practically zero. Now, obviously, I'll show you guys this print when I'm done, if I even go that long, because I want to try and end this stream in about 5 minutes, but we're at 57%, so maybe we'll let it go until the print finishes, and then pretty much let it be. We're going to have a runout here soon, so that way you guys can see how it detects the filament runout and go from there. But yeah, it's printing okay right now. But I wasn't expecting anything special with stock filament that God knows how long it's been sitting out. Even though it's vacuum sealed, it can probably be 2-3 years old by now. But yeah, it's really, really cool to see this stuff in action. But again, you kind of pay a premium for it. Like I said, this printer is $700 right now on Amazon. It's $699. And like I said, if you guys are interested in this printer and want to get it, there is a 40% off coupon code I can get you with my contacts, and he can provide you a discount code through Amazon to purchase this. Now, obviously, you can probably purchase it cheaper directly from the manufacturer, but I don't know what the price is offhand from the manufacturer for it. So, still getting myself broken in on printing with an Ender 3. Okay, so you're starting out very, very low end on the scale here. So this would be a good option for somebody who wants like a CR10 Smart. This would probably be better. because you have the ability to do dual colors. You have the ability to mirror stuff or duplicate mode, which essentially I can be making 2 of these cubes at one time, and there we go. So, I mean, that's really, really cool. Obviously, you're limited to your bed size, so if you're making a small model, you can get away with that. So, that's kind of cool. So essentially, you can kind of print like a resin printer does in a way. So there was 0 humidity, even though we are at 99% average humidity. Wow. You just got the inland open filament. Cool. SVO2 is on sale for $290 on their site in stock. So the SVO2 that's a dual color filament. So that's different than an IDEX. So that's a single extruder and a single hot end where 2 colors go into it. Now I will tell you 9 times out of 10, if you don't know what you're doing printing wise, you are going to have a really bad day. Because even me, that I knew a little bit about printing, at that point I had 10 FDM printers at that point, and I thought I knew what I was doing. Yeah, no, I had a dual color printer, not a dual extrusion printer, and well, I guess they are dual extrusion, but a dual colored hot end. I had a terrible time. And now also, I will say that back then the slicers weren't set up as good as they are now. But this is a better setup. So this would be comparable to the SV04 IDEX printer. So just throwing that out there. Yeah. Rough start, but fun. Hey, it's an Ender 3. I don't have Ender 3s because they're a rough start. There's a little bit better printers out there for anybody that's watching and looking into getting into 3D printing. You can have the Voxelab Aquila X2, I think it is. Might be X2S now. Or the Elegoo Neptune S or S2. Those are great options, and they're around the same price range as an Ender 3 V2, I think. But they provide a little bit better quality out of the box, in my opinion. So I always ask myself when testing a machine, is this a good unit to add a Chimera? I don't ever think about that. I think about how good is this machine stock? And will I need to do upgrades? And if I do need to do upgrades, why do I need to do upgrades if it's at a certain price range? This being at a $700 price range, it should work pretty well as it is. That's a good amount of money to have a printer that works pretty well. And again, like I said, it's a better alternative to people who are out there getting CR10 smarts and things like that, because you have the ability to print 2 colors at once. And it's super simple. And you might add on an extra hour of print time total because of the movement of parking and going back and then changing and parking and things like that. So let's say even 2 hours extra onto it. I'd rather pay that extra $2 to have that ability, so I'm not wasting any extra filaments. Everything is dialed in, ready to rock and roll. So, but what do I think about this one? This one's pretty good so far. Like I said, we did have some issues with the Extruder 2 when we first started. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I'm guessing it was tight belts because all we did was just loosen up the pulleys a little bit. We didn't necessarily take back the belt or anything like that because I didn't want it too loose. So we just loosened up the pulleys a little bit, and it seemed to work fine after a restart. So, and it looks like the filament runout triggered here. So let's see what it does. It should have triggered that, unless I don't have that triggered. is a possibility. I might have to figure out how to trigger that. Either way, we caught it. I'll have to take a look and see why that's not triggering. It might be that I have to set it up in the settings beforehand. So, let's see. The test print was good and got a decent dragon, but now I can't get anything to print. You probably have a jam in the hot end. I think it's just not sticking to the build plate, but I don't know why. So because the Ender 3 has a single Z, it tends to sag on this side. So check your wheels on the inside of the bar there. Exposure settings? Are we talking about resin or are we talking about FDM? Watch me, I'm going to get a Cobra Max and I'm going to mod it to be an IDEX. You know, somebody was telling me about that. No, that's the Mono X. Okay. So the Mono X, so if you're not having anything stick, check your FET film, check your screen, make sure that when you press the exposer, it's exposing the box properly. Obviously, remove your build plate and your vat when you do that. And then check your leveling. Even though you think it's good, check it. Make sure that it's good. So with the Anycubic printers, I might have even talked to you about how to do this, but essentially what I do is I'll home it, put a piece of paper underneath there. That piece of paper should not be able to move back and forth. Okay, you should be able to slightly pull it out a little bit, but it should not be able to slide back in at all. So what I usually do is when I home it, I'll press the 0.1 millimeter button and press it down 1, maybe 2 times, and then we're good. And then I'll set Z0. So. Trust me, man, people bug me all the time, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I created a group, as I did, 3D printing for noobs, because I was always there to help people. And no matter what time of day, I'm always around. I may not get to you quickly at sometimes, and that's probably because I'm zonked out. But you know, I try and get back to people as fast as I possibly can. What's up, Prindler? How's it going? I'm part of the resin nosy people. Yes, I am a resin snob. Clean the build plate. I had the same issue. Clean build plate each time, no issues. So I'll be honest, that's probably one of the things that I do without noticing it. So especially like with the Mega behind me, like I got to take that print off. I'm gonna scrape it off, and even though it's probably all dripped off and ready to rock and roll for a next print, I usually go with the scraper and just kind of scrape everything off of it until it's all off. I don't wipe it down or anything like that. I just scrape it off. So, man, the M3 Max has good adhesion. Yes, a little too good in my opinion. I need to take a look at that because it's not the part that the adhesion is the issue for me. It's the fact that the raft or whatever that we use is brittle, which is, I've never had that issue ever before on any resin printer that I've used. Usually I get at the prints and they just kind of come off in one piece. But on the M3 Max, they tend to break away. Like I don't know what's going on. and it's kind of annoying because like my build plate is scratched to hell already, but that's normal with anything because I use a combination of really sharp scraper that's super thin and a razor blade. So that comes with the territory. So the fact that I haven't cleaned it once and using it is not good. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, definitely start cleaning the build plate. Have at least scrape the bottom of the vat and clean used alcohol on it. Can you leave a print to drip too long? Absolutely not. Going back to TH3D Studio, Tim, the owner there, when I first met him, he had an Anycubic Photon, an original one, and he had a Benchy on it. And I always gave him crap because I'm like, aren't you ever going to remove that? And it was literally like a year and a half later. And then I started getting into resin printing because at that time a photon was like $800, and I'm like, that's expensive for essentially printing your hands ability. That's really small print area for $800, and a bottle of resin was $100 for like a 500 milliliter. So it's come down quite a lot since then. But anyway, he had a Benchy sitting on his printer dripping for a year and a half at least since I saw it, maybe more, maybe 2 years. And then he finally took it off, and it was perfectly fine. Washed it, cured it, all good. So, but he had an OG photon, really old. But yeah, so far so good. Let's see, initial impressions of this machine. The instructions need to be a little bit better detailed for the newer machine because they are still built off of the old machine. Now, when I say that is, okay, the old machines used to have a connector, a VGA connector. That's literally what it is on the top here. And then these wires were hardwired into the board. Well, now it's opposite. They are now hardwired into the extruder, and then they plug into the back of the machine. So they swap the wires. Not a big issue, but before there used to be a mounting area for these filament runout sensors on there. So that is not the case anymore. Again, it's not a big issue, at least for me, but some people may want that all tidied up and looking nice. I think the draping over the extruder or extrusion rails type thing is kind of really ghetto and tacky. Obviously, I can probably find something to print or modify to print for that to make them a little bit better. But essentially, that's what it tells you to do, is to go up over the extrusion rail and call it a day. It's like I said, it's kind of ghetto, but it works. So either way, it'll be all right. It's got a linear rail specifically for the extruder that's really nice. It'll make sure that everything stays leveled at that specific point and smooth running. We did have some issues with the extruder too. The belts were a little bit over tightened on the on extruder 2. So we just kind of loosened the pulleys a little bit. Just gave it one simple turn on each pulley, and that was enough to get it going. I'm a little concerned because that might cause layer shifting, but the belts are still pretty tight, so we're okay. Just if you have that issue, don't untighten it too much. Make sure that you just give it a quick, half turn or whatever, and you should be good. Glass bed plate, I'm kind of so about that, but everybody likes that. The carborundum glass or whatever they call it. I'm just never a big fan of it. It seems to be working okay right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll upgrade to a flex plate in the near future. I don't know. It's nice because it has dual Z's on it, so that ensures that this stays completely leveled at all times. Would have been even nicer if they were belt linked, but that's something that anybody could really add on at any point in time with a simple kit. You just got to find the CR10 dual belt linked Z. It's a mouthful. It has a full-size SD card, which I really like. And that's about it. Oh, it does have the white features on there, but they kind of so work. I mean, you can kind of see a string there, so they sort of work. I don't know if it's just the filament that's just blah or what, but it seems to be working okay. No, do we have a clog? I think we got a clog. Might have a clog. I don't know. We'll have to look at that. But so far, so good. Like I said, some minor issues. Obviously, if you don't know what you are doing, that might be a little problematic for you right out of the gate, especially something like that that's kind of hard to track down a belt issue because not a lot of people think about that. So let's see. Let's go look at our stuff here. Must have been a pretty benchy. It was a clear benchy. Man, didn't want to mess it up removing it. On my glass bed, I hold canned air upside down and spray, freezes the print, and pops right off. I used to do that too until one day I did that and it popped a piece of the glass off as well. Now, granted, this was a Creality branded bed, and that's why I don't really suggest those. But yeah, that can definitely happen because if you just let it be, you're good. Print finished. It took 0.44. That looks like crap. I mean, as I figured, the first layer was going to come off here, but essentially, this is what we have. This is supposed to go on here, and like I said, I knew the first layer wasn't going to go on very well because, as you can see, it laid down that top part, but then the bottom part didn't lay down because I didn't have the filaments inserted all the way. But internally, it came out pretty good. The layer lines and everything look pretty good. Not bad. Obviously, we got to work on some things, but out of the box, yeah, it's doable. It's not bad. Kind of dig it. So, so have you ever used brake cleaner to clean off the resin off? I don't. Nope, I wouldn't do that. It's gonna lay a extra additive into there, and it's gonna mess with your resin. So. Being a former body man, that's a little concerning. I mean, it's not going to ruin the FEP. The FEP is literally chemical resistant. So, oh no, mine's a Creality tempered glass bed that came with my Ender 3 Max. Yeah, so just be careful with that because it can have some issues with it. I'm not saying that it'll happen to you. Maybe they're a little bit better, but yeah. So, and then the other issue is like, I don't know what happened, but it started having some weird layering there. So I don't know what the hell happened, but as you can see, the retraction needs to be worked on both ends. It's not just the extruder 1 or extruder 2, but you can clearly see the Z seam is not set up properly. So I'm gonna scour the internet, maybe see if I can get a better platform for it. But the raft settings are really nice. That's probably the nicest raft I've ever removed from a print, especially a stock one. But internally, not too bad. Little bit of hairy issues, but again, I think that has to do with that filament because we already had that filament break, and that's not a good sign. Having it break right off the gate. So, hey, mate, Grant from Facebook. Grant. Which Grant? I know like 3 of them. I shatter a couple of Creality glasses, so using a 4mm tempered glass, and it's amazing. I switched to a mirror when I had my Ender 3, and it was amazing. It was the best thing. So when somebody says Grant, for some reason my super nerd mind just goes to Grant Gustafson, who plays the Flash. So I'm sorry. Time to try printing a Darth Maul head now. That would be awesome. I bought the resin printer the other day, the Aussie. God, man, I'm sorry. I talk to so many people, so it's just like I'm trying to recanter? No, that's like taking back. Recall the conversation we were having, if we had a conversation about that. Oh yeah, because I was telling you that you had Monicure 3D in your backyard. That's right. I'm the Flash. I'll look into the mirror option on my E3 build. Yeah, so I went with mirror and I loved it. I loved the finish that it gave with that. But since I've had the Viper and the flexible PEI, the textured PEI, oh my god, the layer on that, the first layer is just, it is amazing looking. I don't know if you guys can even see that and how well it comes off of, but it is just gorgeous. I love it. It's kind of like an old 80s car dashboard where it's like it's textured a little bit. Yes, fingers. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I do remember. I vaguely remember the conversation. I want to say you bought an Anycubic printer, if I'm not mistaken. Or were you the one that bought the Elegoo Mars too? And I was like, no, you shouldn't have. But at least you bought the Elegoo Mars 2 and not the 3. So yeah, we'll do some more testing on this. Maybe we'll slice up a file really quick and get it running. But so far so good. Like I said, initial impressions, not too bad of a printer. Little bit of issues right out of the box, but nothing that couldn't have been fixed. We got it unboxed and set up in an hour and 40 minutes with me chit-chatting with people. So, I mean, that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. That's a pretty good time frame for someone who really doesn't build FDM printers anymore. So, let me put this out of my face. Out of my face. We're just gonna close that out. Screw it. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, we're gonna set up some other stuff and see what we can do. I might load up those rainbow filaments and see if we can do something real crazy with it. I don't know if that'll work as well as I think it would come out, but hey, worth a shot. Or maybe we'll do like half rainbow, half colored. But I at least want to try and use up these spools before we do anything else and go crazy with it. So, but other than that, like rating 1 to 10, I give it a good solid maybe 7 right out of the box, just because, like I said, we had some issues with the extruder. The instructions are for the older model, so they're not very clear on like adding the white features on here, the white buckets that are supposed to be on there, and then the filament runout sensors, and it's the little changes that they did. But they did do some nice changes to the machine, so it seems to be running okay now. Hopefully it stays that way. I will keep you guys updated through the TikToks and little videos that I post up here and there, but so far so good. Again, if you guys are interested in this printer, yes, it is a $700 printer on Amazon right now. But for those who are in the USA and the UK, you have the ability to get a 40% off coupon not sure what that equates to. I can't math in my head, and it's too late for me to even try and math. But that's a pretty good deal, I'd say, for a printer of this size and what it can do. Even if you have a little bit of print problems here and there, it's probably still a better buy than a CR10 as of right now. Now that might change when it comes to my actual review, but so far, I'm mildly impressed with it. Mildly, we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna take the SD card out of this, load it up, get it all set up in Cura, and we're gonna do some crazy prints on it and see if maybe we can do something really cool and maybe do, I don't know, a better print that can show it off a little bit better than just a silly little calibration cube that was just okay at best. It is kind of solid. Yeah, sure, it breaks away, but that's because the walls are like super thin on this. But we do have to do some calibration on it and see what's going on. Hello, Chipped Builds. Hello, Eastern Shore Screen Printing. Welcome to the stream. We are just kind of ending the stream. I'm going to end it in about 7 minutes. So if you guys got any questions, we were basically unboxing and setting up the Tenlog D3 Pro. This is an IDEX printer. So essentially it's a dual color printer without all the major headaches, I should say, that come with a dual extrusion single hot end setup. If that makes any sense. So this has two separate extruder setups, two hot end setups, and what you usually see in dual color filaments is a dual extruder setup coming down to a single hot end that just kind of feeds one in, feeds another, retracts out, puts it in, and yeah, it just kind of goes back and forth, and it's a huge disaster at that point. How do you get the coupon again? So if you want, you could contact me on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Akuma Max. Not a mods, a Max. And just message me, and I will get you in contact with the person on Facebook that sent me this printer. Like I said, he does have a 40% discount code for those who are in the USA and the EU or UK. I believe that's the same area, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a geologist in any way. So, does the learning on the Prusa box still have a Prusa? Does the leaning on the Prusa box still have Prusa in it? Yes, it does. Yeah, that's probably going to come down in the next day or two. It'll be down this week. So we have a lot of printers that we're going to be going through. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot of streams for me this week. Hello from Spain. Hello, sir. Zero Cool. That's an awesome name. One of my favorite movies, Hackers. Absolutely. Photon Mono is $800. Old one. Only the new one is for me. Well, the Photon Mono, you should be able to get that pretty cheap now. Like they dropped it insanely priced. Like I want to say it's less than $400 here in the US now because of the new models that dropped out. So I've got a first gen Ender 3 that you're rebuilding. Oh my god, my apologies, dude. That is no. I'm good. Hell yeah, that's me. All right, cool. Yeah, and even if you guys don't want to have the deal right now, just message me in general. Just keep in contact and be like, hey, this is my Facebook. I know a lot of people don't use Facebook, but if you want to, you can try and just comment on the bottom of this video, and then I'll get back to you with some contact information. But unfortunately, my contact for this specific printer is only on Facebook that I am aware of. I'm sure they have some sort of WhatsApp or something that you can get a hold of them, but they specifically said through Facebook Messenger, just send them their way. So, You have a dog as a Facebook picture? No. No, it should be my smiley face. I mean, unless my face looks like a dog to you, but it's a possibility. Your name comes from that movie? I would hope so. Because if not, then you have like a 1 in a million chance of amazing me. So someone has the same name but a dog pic. So go on Facebook. So type facebook.com/Akuma Max. It's all one word. AKUMAMAX. That will take you directly to my profile. Message me straight from there. I mean, you can message me on my Akuma Mods Facebook page, but I hate that because it's a completely separate messenger system. So it's like I gotta keep switching back from my personal messenger to my page's messenger, and it's a royal pain on Facebook mobile. I mean, it's a pain anywhere on Facebook, but that'd probably be the best way to get a hold of me. So, by the way, I thank you guys all for all likes. If you guys are not liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and head over there. That is youtube.com/Akuma Mods. That's AKUMAMODS. And you'll be able to see my fancy face here live streaming with y'all who are on TikTok. And that way you guys can subscribe and give me some more subscribers. And that'd be great. So other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, just general questions, whatever you got, feel free to post them below on the video, and that way, I can answer them for you. But as of right now, like I said, it's an all right printer. We still got to do some more testing with it to get my honest review on it. So we'll probably spend about a week doing some prints with it here and there, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. But that's pretty much it. Till next time, guys.